Happy Sunday, everybody. Yes, it's a big Sunday. It's Super Bowl Sunday, and you're probably wondering, why is he not live? Well, it's Super Bowl, right? The boys are coming. They're going to stick around till at least midnight, so we got to make sure that the show still goes on in some sort of fashion. So here we are, pre-record episode 35 of the weekly comic wrap-up. And tonight, I've got a very special guest. Yes, it's his first time showing up on a Sunday, but we've had many hangouts on Thursday nights. Yes, you might see this man and be like, he looks a little familiar, and he should seem familiar because he's none other than Chiapet, baby.
What's up? How you guys doing?
I'm doing okay, bro.
Finally got me on here, eh? You have to
Yeah,
twist
man.
my arm, you go, I take all that stuff we do off the show and throw it on the show here, all my ranting and ravings. I see what you wanted to do. On a
Yes.
pre-record, people could fast forward past my parts too, and only focus on your parts. It's smart. Good move.
Yeah, exactly. No, look, we always tend to go into deep talks daily, literally daily. We message each other daily, but also, I come to see you when I come to get some books, and
Yeah.
lo and behold, what should be no more than a hi, here's your books. You can go home now. No, we talk for at least an hour.
Out in the cold. I think I got a sore throat because of that last time. Yeah. I think so.
No, the sore throat is because you were screaming from your balcony at
yes, that's at the neighbors' kids. Well, we'll see what I'm gonna do when I'm screaming with my Niners tomorrow, because I'm gonna be on pins and needles. I was telling a friend today, actually, sports are miserable for me now, actually, because it's not as if I can enjoy my team. I'm just constantly watching in a bottle of stress like this and anger. It's vitriol, like telling Purdy sucks at one moment, even though I like the dude. What are you doing, this Shanahan? Or what's wrong with Caulfield? Like, I don't enjoy the sport until like at the end of the game, and I'm like, it's like one of those, like, I can't eat during the game, so I'm fully stressed. And then after I'm like ravenous, I'm going to eat some food because I'm ravenous and hungry. It's very peculiar. I remember the Canadians when they went to the finals. I don't think I enjoyed one game.
Yeah, but it was during the pandemic. There was nobody in the crowd, right? Nobody even cared.
But internally, I don't think I enjoyed a game. I think I prefer more if I mildly like a team, right, versus a team I hate, and the mild team I like defeats that. I can enjoy the sport at least. Like, I could admire a play. When I'm in there, my team, it's just basically laser focus on using any kind of mojo and magic and jinxing that I could do to and reverse jinx that I can get my team to win. Yeah, that's it. That's all it is.
No, I can imagine you're about to stress in just a few hours because the 49ers are going right up against Kansas City. That's right. You ready to go head-to-head versus Taylor Swift, bro?
You know what? I'm using every one of my mom's, like, how do you call it, tricks she has with JC, and any in she has with JC versus the white girl in she has with JC. So it's going to be Greek JC versus Taylor Swift, Pennsylvania girl JC, and see who's going to have the way with the football gods now. That's what's going to happen.
There you go, man. But yeah, I'm excited. So Super Bowl is about to kick off. So we're bringing you this video a few hours just beforehand so you guys can, get up to speed with everything that's happened within the week. And Chiapet, obviously, it's always a great time hanging out with you. You've been busy, though. You've been very busy, especially Monday nights. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, we started a show on Facebook. Follow Comic Legion on Facebook, and we do a show every Monday night at 7. It's a new comic book day show mixed with recent releases, some incentives, and back issues. The occasional slab as well. It's growing. I think people are enjoying it, and it's been fun so far. It's been 5 or 6 weeks, I think. Yeah. We often offer a pretty decent special of the week. Just so I could tell you guys, we've offered up Avengers Twilight for $5.
Number one.
Ultimate Spider-Man Stegman cover was one of our second special we gave, $5. As many as you wanted to buy on week of release. I don't think any shop in the world was doing that. We offered Batman 142 just recently, the poster right behind me, banger issue. I think we offered Moon Knight with Vengeance #1 for a great price as well. I think $5. I mean, we've offered like banger book after banger book. Like, whenever we have a chance and we know that we believe in a book, we often offer it. I mean, I read the Ultimate Spider-Man before. I go, this thing is amazing. I read it on when we received our shipment, and I had to like spread the word. So we got it out there. Same with Avengers Twilight, which is basically, if you're not reading it, get on it. I mean,
Yep.
if you like Kingdom Come, Dark Knight, and Avengers, you got to read it. Like,
Mhm.
it's incredible. Anyways, we'll talk about that when we get the new comics because I think they're on the list anyway.
Yes, we'll definitely talk about that. But like you were just saying, Comic Legion's rather new. 5 to 6 weeks that you guys have been doing these Monday night shows at 7 p.m. Eastern time, where people could claim books, right? So new
Yeah.
comic book day books, and you guys are doing, killer things, great deals, like you just said, $5 books on the big books of the week too.
Yeah,
But
we try.
yeah, exactly,
It's
and
not always going to be. Yeah.
Comic Legion, of course, I've got nothing but love for Comic Nation, who is definitely part of this
It's
channel. But let's explain that the Comic Legion.
their brother sites things. So Comic Legion is situated in Canada, and Comic Nation is situated in the States. We work together. We're their brother affiliate sites, affiliate companies, kind of thing. So yeah, we work hand in hand. So it's just basically a satellite of each other, kind of thing, in the Great White North versus down south, kind of thing.
There you go.
So you can. There's no reason. It's not Pepsi or Coke. You don't gotta pick one. There's no taste challenge here. Okay, they're both. We welcome both and everyone. You know what I mean? So there you go.
There you go. Yep. So,
but anyways, tune in, guys. They're pretty fun shows. I mean, it's not just for Canadians. I mean, you don't have to buy anything. You just come in and watch a show. We try to make it as entertaining as possible. We're not as entertaining as Black Crown over here, but we do our part. You know what? See, I came on the show now because the long-term plan is to get BC over here onto our show. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, anytime. I'm more than happy. To come on a Monday.
It's the only thing. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when it happens. When you're working there and you're gonna be exhausted. We'll make you price the books beforehand too, and then process them after.
No. You do all the pricing. I'll do all the advertising and promoting. But yeah, man. So you guys are killing it. So congrats to you and guys. Like he just said, definitely go check out Comic Legion on Facebook. Eventually, very soon, I think you're gonna go for a bigger launch with a website and so forth. You're losing the poster. You're losing the poster. Let it go. Posters down. But yeah, so yeah, good things coming ahead for you. Just maybe some better tape. We're gonna get. I'll make sure to bring you some good duct tape for your posters.
You know what? But I didn't want to ruin the poster. That was the thing because it's such a beautiful poster.
It is.
Maybe you'll put the chat in. You put the link in the chat for the Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely.
Facebook group.
So what I'll do is I'll put the link within the description of this video. So guys, everybody watching, make sure to check out the description part of this video, and you can go follow it over on Facebook. But there is no chat, unfortunately, because this is a pre-record. But one thing I will say is, guys, sound off in the comments below, because everybody who's going to comment, I'm going to be keeping an eye out. I will respond to you, but who knows? Maybe something special might happen to a certain someone who comments on the video. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Fair. There
I don't even know what it is. I'm gonna have to go comment. Hope to get to something special.
Well, maybe I'll give something away next week when I'm live for those who commented.
That makes sense. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
That's a good hint, guys.
Yep. But all right, Chiapet. There's a lot to discuss. We're gonna go through some of the FOC picks of the week by Lefteros, and of course, there's markets, hot topics, quite a few hot topics. So, big show ahead. We're gonna kick off with the FOC. I don't have much of the chat here to ask, but either way, I know they're ready. I gotta ask if you, my friend, are ready.
Yeah, I think I'm ready. I think we're gonna kill this. Let's go.
All right. All right, boys and girls, FOC selections, week of February 12th, of course, by our brother, literally, Lefteros Comics. So if you guys aren't already, go follow Lefteros over on Instagram. And of course, you can check out some of his more extended articles over on Cover Price, where he goes through the FOC selections with a more in-depth list. And of course, he's covering the new comic book day stuff. So before we get into this stuff, I also want to remind you guys, go visit comicnation.us and get yourself an extra 5% discount off of your FOC order. They're already discounting 15% off cover price, but you can get an additional 5% off by adding Black Crown as the discount code. So bringing your total to 20% off.
Not too bad, eh? That's pretty damn good.
It is good. I feel like you're biased. Don't be too biased. Let's get into the first book.
I'm a little bit biased.
All right, Avengers Twilight #4. So this is, look, Alex Ross is killing every cover, 100%. But this is the first issue where I'm struggling with which cover I want to buy.
Because they're all nice.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
they
They're
are.
all nice.
They
There's like
are.
10 covers that are all nice.
Yeah, but
Akuna's
forget,
killing it.
dude, forget the fact that the covers are amazing. The story's amazing,
This,
right?
this is a prestige story. You know, like I think I was talking with a friend of ours, JF, earlier, and he's like, you know, he wasn't a big fan of Akuna as an artist, right?
Yeah.
He's my jam. I like that kind of art, you know, like a little bit more abstract. I go, and he agreed, by the way, he completely agreed. I go, but for this type of story, you need something that's very unique and prestige. This is a prestige work. It's a work of, I mean, I'm sure Marvel is ecstatic with the sales that they're getting, right? But even more so, this is a book that you're sending out there because you want it to be a prestigious thing. You want it to be something that's elevated, you know, that catches people's eye. Very much so like what they're doing with the one shot that's coming out in May or June for Doctor Doom, right? It's Jonathan Hickman, and what's the artist's name? It's one of those prestige artists, the guy who did Power Man and Iron Fist. He did also Bitterroot, as he's a creator of Bitterroot.
Oh man,
sure what it's S.
I have it at the tip of my tongue.
Let me just check it out on the computer because now it's annoying me.
Okay, I'll let you go at it while you check. But yes, back to what we were saying about the reads. Avengers Twilight #4 is apparently going to have the possibility here.
Sanford Green. That's it.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so possibly the introduction of the new Avengers, and up until now, we haven't really seen the Avengers within the book. We've seen them individually, but this is a mini series, right? This isn't going to be going for so many books here.
My brother said 5.
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere 6. I'm hoping he's wrong. He's not usually wrong, so he's probably right. It's 5, which is going to annoy me. Not that he's right. It's going to annoy me that it's ending. Not that, I mean, he's, like I said, he's usually on the ball with this.
Yeah.
I don't want it to end because it's so damn good. This is the facts. I'm hoping that they make a sequel of this. Like, it's that good. You want to be in that environment for longer. Like, I think the cover was it for 4 or 3. Like, what was the covers for 4 had the Hawkeye covers, right?
No, it wasn't the Hawkeye cover. So 4 has the
lightning covers.
The 4 ones, yeah, the lightning covers and stuff like that.
So 3 had the Hawkeye lightning covers.
I believe so.
Everything is just, anyways, it's top notch the whole way through. I don't know what like you said, what covers to buy, but I highly recommend this book. Yeah. I love reading each one. Like it's must read.
Couldn't agree more. But we're going to move on from this one because we're going to talk another one. Yes, that's right. A book so hot that even the posters are melting off of the walls. Batman 145, baby. Now, right here, we've got the cover. See, obviously, there's multiple covers always available for Batman titles, but this Batman variant cover depiction by Yasmin Putri, I think is gorgeous. I think this is a beautiful cover.
I mean, he did a cover for 142 that was gorgeous with the Joker. It was incredible. Or was it 143? I can't remember which one it was, but because they're all mixing up now that I'm having them here. I think it's 143 actually. So yeah, he's an incredible artist. He did great work on the DC Knights. Was it which the one was in the medieval time? That was like a reimagination of. It was with Tom Taylor, reimagined that Bruce and the whole DC universe, but in like as knights, Dark Knights or something. I can't remember what it was called. It happened last year. His work is just incredible. And this Chip Zdarsky's run now with the Joker Year 1 is starting to pick up a lot of steam. So you're starting to see some of the things that he had to lay out to where he wants to go.
Yeah.
Right? Like the I always like to see artists and writers who have long-term plan, and then the company and the publisher allowing them to set things up that need to be set up to get to where you want to go. Like I remember when I was reading Jonathan Hickman's Avengers for the first time, and he introduced the Builders in issue 1, and I'm like, what is this even about? Yeah. Like that, and he had that yellow guy with the thing there. I can't remember what it was, and I'm like, this just is bizarre. But he introducing these concepts because he's going to use them for his Secret Wars, right? Which was 5 years later. And it's interesting, and I find that same thing with Zdarsky here, with the concepts that he's introducing in the second run, or whether it's the first one with Failsafe, and then we had the Prime Joker that he went in the alternate multiverse thing. It's all leading to something, and I like that. So I'm excited for this as well, just based on the cover.
Yeah, when you started it off, I thought you were referring to Yasmin Putri as the he, but lo and behold, you're talking about
Chip.
Zdarsky.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I was like,
I talked about Yasmin's art first on the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
as the artist for the work that they did on the I can't DC Metals. I can't remember what it was called. But anyways,
What is it? The dark metal?
is it dark? No, is that the you know what I'm talking about? The one that was like all in the medieval time. I can't remember.
I hate how we're both having brain farts on the title.
Yeah, I'm old. There's no excuse for you.
I've got 2 kids, so let's move forward.
That's you know. Anyways,
But all right, Symbiote Spider-Man 2099 #1, the main cover, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you saw this prior
yes.
to now, but yeah, this Lionel Yu cover is insane. But here we've got the first appearance of a new 2099 symbiote. If you know people like Jeb, infamous Jeb, all those
Our boy.
symbiote lovers are going to be picking this up. I know I'm picking it up. There's no way I'm not going to pick it up. But
Listen,
it looks,
how can you not? Look at the cover.
yeah.
It got me.
Yeah,
And
even,
I'm a
dude,
sucker for that.
even the last run there that's been going on, the Miguel O'Hara one. There's been a lot of cool stuff going on in there.
You know that they already teased that they're going to relaunch 2099 permanently, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like they just relaunched, like Marvel released like the number 2099.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, all these characters that they're introducing in these ones, they might be populating the world that we're going to be getting very soon. And I'm a sucker. I love the original Rick Leonardi Peter David run. Like I was old enough to actually read it on the stands. Like I said, I'm old. And anytime they go back there, I adore it. Throw in a little bit of symbiote action too. So me and Jeb could bond over it. Yeah, I'm down.
Instant sucker. I love it, but for all the right reasons. So
yes.
All right. Void Rivals issue 7. Now, yes, another big book that we always highly speak about, but this is the cover A. Now, you've got a first appearance and cover of Proximus, but another one that's real cool, I don't know if you saw this, is the 1 in 50 incentive. I think it's pretty neat. I don't know how it will do on the secondary market, right? When it comes to all these people who enjoy speculating and maybe seeing a better premium in return, but I don't know. I'm okay with the cover A. I actually like the cover A over the 1 in 50.
I would agree that cover A is better, for my opinion. I think the 1 in 50 is pretty damn cool as well, 100%. But I just like I've always been a sucker for the purple kind of hue on them. They've been doing a really cool job on the purple. He has the bow. He's holding a giant bow, which is awesome. He's like a bounty hunter, Boba Fett type thing going,
Hawkeye.
And yeah, Hawkeye thing going. It's all mixed in together. Yeah. Now, the thing about Void Rivals, the story's been amazing. Mm-hmm. It's written by Robert Kirkman, so it's amazing. And it's part of the Energon universe. And there's no chance that Hasbro hasn't been involved in every single thing that they're doing.
Yeah.
So if we think about it logically, and they're going to do relaunch, whether it's animated series or anything they're going to do with this, the Void Rivals are probably going to be centerpiece between G.I. Joe and Transformers and the Void Rivals.
It is a 1,000%.
So every first appearance you see here
is important.
Long-term spec-wise, just picture Invincible. This is what you're seeing. It's just Invincible, but attached to 2 other large properties.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the book that you're going to be thinking to yourself in 5-10 years, like, oh man, I could have got them all for cover.
Yeah.
And it's also a great read. That's the thing. There's so many great comic books going on right now, and this is just one of them. That's the reality.
Yeah. We'll talk about how great comics have been as of late in just a bit, but Void Rivals 7, definitely worthy of a pickup. Now, we're getting straight into the incentive for this one because Black Widow and Hawkeye #1 is going to be launching. That's right. It's currently on FOC, but this art gem cover is just gorgeous. Now, it is available also in a trade at a regular cover price, but...
The one I'm going to get, obviously.
Yeah, same. I don't got the deep pockets for the 1 in 100.
It's facts. I'm not going to get the 1 in 100.
Yeah, no.
But it's one of them you want to get.
Yeah.
This is one that you want to get. Let's be honest.
Absolutely, man. I think it's a gorgeous cover, man. Like it's just everything going on in it is just beautiful. But yes, we have the regular trade available at cover price, which is what our wallets are pretty much going to be able to
Yeah,
afford between myself and Chiapet. But
yeah.
if you have the, you know, the coin to pick yourself up, the 1 in 100,
This is
definitely.
one you gotta. I mean, you could just see. You see this? You could get it signed like, in a blue
Yeah,
somewhere, or even like, it's just gorgeous.
yeah,
Like the vintage costume, the
yeah.
archer and pose. You know, everything. He just kills these covers, right? Like
It
between, like I
does.
mean, he's one of the best. Like there's no doubt about it. And I'm interested in the story as well because I've always liked the connection between Black Widow and Hawkeye.
Yeah,
I mean, even before the MCU, but it just got even better. And I'm interested in also what Stephanie Phillips is going to add to the
the
thing because I
story.
think she's a very good writer. It's very interesting. I think this could be a really good one.
Yep, looking forward to it. But since we're on the topic of hot covers, that's right, man. Women's History Month. Here we go. So DC's bringing out bangers as always when it comes to covers, and none other than Sozomakia. You got Birds of Prey issue 7 and Poison Ivy issue 20. I think these are two absolutely banger covers coming out.
It's incredible.
Yep.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Also, it's really funny that in Women's History Month we're depicting two covers that objectify women. But hey,
Yeah.
who cares?
Yeah, not wrong. But dude, it's Poison Ivy,
Yeah,
regardless of the fact.
every single one of them has been. Have they ever had a bad Poison Ivy cover in this run?
No, and you know something? The
And
Poison
there's like
Ivy.
three sometimes 3 and 4, and they're all good.
Yeah. The Poison Ivy reads like I was reading out the gate. I think I hopped off, to be honest, at around issue 8 or 9. But I was really enjoying it in the beginning. Like I thought it was
Nobody
great.
has complained about it. It's the book was supposed to be a miniseries,
Yeah.
BC, and they extended it because it was getting so much play. I prefer, to be honest, with you. Well, Poison Ivy looks better on her cover, but I prefer the Birds of Prey because I like the vintage feel of it.
Hmm.
That the vintage distorted thing on the background.
Yep.
I like it better. But obviously, the Poison Ivy is just a banger. They're both, incredible covers.
Well, I mean, when it comes to the Birds of Prey, it's more or less up my alley of color schemes that I enjoy. So yeah,
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
100%. But we're going to get into some second print talk. We just spoke about Batman 142, a book so hot that, yes, it is peeling off of the walls. See the second printing of
I
Joker
should have just
Year
taken
1.
down earlier.
Part 1. I'm never going to let it go.
Yeah, it is what it caught on tape. It's over.
Yep, exactly. But you've got this beautiful Kamikoli cover. We saw it available on the first print. There was the foil. But now here we are in the second print, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a foil because up until now, from what I've seen, even on Previews World, which, by the way, Previews World, what the hell happened?
It's a mess.
Yeah, Saturday morning. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, so it's only saying that it's the second printing, no reference of the foil. So I think, if you did miss out on it, Chiapet, you were telling me even before we went live.
There may be some on the show.
Yeah. Yes, there might be some on your show on Monday night, but besides the point, huge read. A lot of people slept on this one.
This book is, like I said, guys, people are sleeping on it, and I don't think they're sleeping on it anymore. It literally is tying all or attempting to tie up, from what it seems, things like the Killing Joke, Three Jokers, Snyder's Batman run, all into one cohesive story. And it's sprinkling in some things from Zdarsky's earlier Batman stuff, not necessarily on the Batman run now. I don't want to spoil anything, but if you could find a copy, pick it up, read it. It's not just to pick it up and hold it because it's the origin of the Joker, and it's picking up and reading it. You know what I mean? That's the key here because you're going to enjoy it. Again, comics are being produced that are being produced right now are great. It's not just they're good; they're great.
Exactly. Speaking second prints, though, we've got Avengers Twilight #2. That's right, second printing of the first cover appearance of James Stark as Iron Man. We just finished talking about how good this read is. So if you didn't have,
I'm not loving this cover though. Sorry.
Yeah, no, dude. Like I said, Alex Ross is killing every single cover.
I love the original cover, but the second printing, I hate when they just do a recolor of the logo or something. For the second
same.
We deserve better. At least the Joker one is a recolor, but it's a bold different. They flipped the Joker, they made it black. It looks different. Yeah. This one is just a yellow logo. I mean, it would have been better.
I don't like that too. But again, like I was just about to say, is if you didn't have the opportunity to pick up a copy for the sake of read, I highly recommend you pick it up because
Yes.
it is absolutely amazing. And yes, I agree with Chiapet 1000% when it comes to second prints getting poor treatment when it's just a change of color. I hate that.
Yeah, that's the only thing that irks me a bit.
Yeah, but let's get out of the second print and let's talk about this insanely hot title right now, Ultimate Black Panther #2, possibly the first full in-story appearance, Earth 6160 Storm. Um, Now look, it doesn't end here, right? So you've got this cover, which you can see the maker in the background, which I love. They always keep the maker there. But Boss Logic, even the Boss Logic cover for issue 1 popped off. Boss Logic coming out with another one here for issue 2, which
I
is
think he's tied in
absolutely
for a few of them, like 3 and 4. I think he's done it. Like he's locked in.
good. I hope so because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
loving the covers he's putting out so far.
yeah,
This obviously, you see some Shuri right here, pretty neat. I love the little blur in the front, but
yeah.
um, the 1 in 25 incentive has Earth 6160 Storm cover depiction by Francesco Mobili. I think this is gorgeous. I think all covers again, bangers, bangers.
So I don't know. I mean, we're now. I guess we're batting a thousand. I would say with 2 for 2
Yeah,
with the Ultimate Spider-Man and Black Panther. The Black Panther was a little bit more familiar than Ultimate Spider-Man. I would say. Like I mean, there was less things that were different, but there
yeah,
were a couple of big ones. Like I don't want to spoil it because it just came out this week. But there were a couple of massive changes, and the story just felt a lot more. I'm not sure urgent and more press. It felt a little bit less. I find sometimes reading Black Panther now in the regular MCU a little bit very political,
yeah,
and not worldwide political. It's a lot of political intrigue, is what I'm trying to say. Not the making a political statement or anything. Where I found this one was had a political end, like it still taught us a little bit of Wakanda and the policies and that, but it also felt a little bit more like a drive to it. There seemed to be a drive to it, and
yeah,
I've always liked. Uh, I think Brian Edward or Brian something Hill, uh, the
mhm,
writer. I've
yeah,
always found him very interesting. He's writing Blade now, also really good. He even wrote Fallen Angels, one of the original series to come out of House of X, Powers of X. So I've always had and he wrote I think another couple of independent stuff. So I've always liked him as a writer. So I think the fact that he finally got a book that's premiere book and it's hitting on all cylinders. I'm super excited for this. I can't wait to see Killmonger. Oh my god, he was so
yeah.
effing cool in the
He
first
was,
one.
he
Like,
was.
yeah, the way he calls down Storm, what he called her,
Yeah, it
it's
was
just like,
insane.
oh, good. That's incredible. Like,
Yeah.
that's what you want. And then I'm like, what is Hickman up to?
I think the Ultimate Universe has been rather refreshing so far out the gate.
So good.
I still have I fear for Ultimate X-Men. That's the one I'm a bit. I hope
It's the
they knock
biggest
it out of the
swing.
park.
There's no doubt about it. It's the biggest swing of all of them.
Yeah,
They're taking a swing on that.
yeah.
But I do think, and I think I told you with this when we were talking, maybe outside or my brother, I can't remember, or everybody, because I just don't stop talking. Uh, it could be anybody. You never know. So I find that it may succeed in what it's trying to do. I just may not really jive with what it's trying to do.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to tell?
Oh
It
no, I
might be
know.
it might be seeking out an audience that's just not me, right? And they may adore it.
Yeah,
So I'm an X-Men diehard, so it kind of irks me in that way. But
yeah,
I'm still getting Storm in this thing, which looks like a badass goddess.
yeah,
So I'm okay with Momoko playing with her little pocket version of the mutant universe.
yeah.
It doesn't mean it's the final end game of what the X-Men will be in this universe, right?
Exactly,
But it's
exactly.
something that can be very interesting. And I'm all for creative expression and seeing somebody go. And I adore Momoko most of the time, her work,
Mhm.
and I hear nothing but great things about the person. So I wish nothing but continued success for this ultimate line and for her. And so yeah, let's get at it. And by the way, I'm also interested in the Ultimate Universe book that's coming out. The Ultimates that's coming out,
Yeah,
by the way, in July. So I'm just pumped for this whole damn universe.
yeah. No, the Ultimate stuff is definitely got
It's
everyone's interest. And speaking of, we got Ultimate
don't
Black Panther number
on
one. Yeah,
this.
Yes, the big book of the week that dropped last week was Ultimate Black Panther #1, but now you have the opportunity to pick up the second printing and obviously the first appearance of Earth 6160's Black Panther. Now, one thing that you and I were discussing when I came to pick up my books this week was if you pay attention to all the second printings of what's happening within the Ultimate Universe, well, it happens to be Sylvia that's doing these
Yeah.
covers, right? So,
He also did the Ultimate Universe, Ultimate Invasion second print, first
yeah,
issue, which had the first appearance of Ultimate Spider-Man
yep,
and Peter Parker's first cover
yep.
appearance. So yeah, people should be paying attention to these ones. I think they're revealing a lot of the first cover appearance. I believe this is the first cover appearance of Ultimate Killmonger
Yep, pretty
and
much.
Ultimate Shiri
Yep.
and a couple of other people on this cover. Like, I mean, there's a
Well,
lot of people on
I
this
think
cover.
I think it gets kind of touchy if you want to say, let's say, Ultimate Shuri. It all depends on the release date. If this releases at the same time as issue 2, then
Oh yeah. You're right.
I think that's where it gets a little confusing. But
Yeah,
definitely when it comes to Killmonger,
yeah.
that's 100%.
And he's a badass, guys. Like,
Yes,
it's basically picture Michael B. Jordan, but in a comic book. He's that kind of badass.
yeah,
Exactly. Which
exactly. So, like you said, guys, don't sleep on this one. I highly recommend everyone picks it up.
it
But
was very similar to the MCU Black Panther I found.
yes, 100%. I think that's
Yeah.
a perfect comparison. Yeah.
That a lot more similar than the book is now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So go for it. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, I just want to let everybody know that they can support Left Arrows by following Comic Nation US. So definitely check out comicnation.us and get yourself an extra 5% discount by using Black Crown. And of course, go visit Cover Price and check out the extended list by Left Arrows when it comes to the FOC over on Cover Price's website, the best comic book price guide around. So we got through the FOC, sir. We did it. Not too bad.
You know what? I hope I didn't embarrass my brother too much because he does a lot of work on this FOC stuff. I hope I didn't say anything foolish.
No,
but
I don't think you did. But we have a lot to talk about in the market. So it seemed like you were ready for FOC. But Chiapet, I gotta ask you, bro, for market reports, are you ready?
I'm hella ready.
Oh, he's hella ready. I'm hella ready. I'm gonna use this all the time.
Yeah, there you go. I'm starting new catchphrases. That's what I do.
It.
I'm a trendsetter.
By the end of this year, the next Dwayne Johnson. But all right, let's get into the market report. Obviously, guys, we're highlighting some of the top books that hit the list, such as CBSI, Cover Price, Go Collect, obviously using eBay for price, verifications and so forth. But if there's any other list, whether it be Key Collector, you have a list, Chiapet, you create a list, you let me know. I will check it out and definitely start talking about those.
Baker did it.
Yeah.
So
Baker
there you go.
Michael Baker's got his own little section. That's right.
Yeah.
The Baker Shaker. I'm gonna be
I always
honest.
look forward to the Baker Shakers. It's always Spawn, but I always look forward to them anyways.
It's not always Spawn. There's always
Okay,
one.
fine. It's Spawn adjacent. Very often Spawn adjacent.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But first book, we just spoke about Ultimate Black Panther 1. It was the hottest book of the week. It is what it is, man. People were buying this up like crazy. Now, coming in at #1 on CBSI, #4 on Cover Price, we had the first appearance of Ultimate Black Panther and several other characters within the book. But raw copies immediately exploded, dude, selling at 40 to 50 Canadian. Nuts.
Listen, the one thing I could say, first of all, it's nuts. Straight up, it's nuts. Okay,
yeah.
let's get that out of the way. But at least the last few books that have exploded have been books that deserve. They're really good books. So at least I could say that, hey, people are chasing something, but at least they're gonna, if they read it and they enjoy it, these things are worthwhile reads and additions to your collection. So in that sense, at least there's that. The price is just nuts.
Yeah,
it's out of control. But the stores didn't do their due diligence.
Yeah, they did.
Exactly. The stores didn't do their due diligence. They didn't learn their lessons. They didn't pay attention. The market being down for the last year or something has led them to be complacent, and they didn't realize if this book came up 2 years ago in the middle of the pandemic, everybody would have had a copy. There would never have been an issue. It would have been so overprinted. It would have been so. But now the printings are so much more scarce. It's going to cause this effect.
Yep.
Because people are
Exactly.
chasing this stuff because they want to read it and they
Now,
want to own it.
now factor that, add the hype of everything that happened with Ultimate Spider-Man, right? So there's the
Yeah,
Ultimate Universe as a whole, right? A few weeks ago, talking about how Ultimate Invasion 1, the second print that we were just talking about, having um, been kind of completely overlooked, right? For the Ultimate Spider-Man character, and then boom, a lot of people chasing that, and that was a 9.99 US book, and this is also not a cheap book, five
no,
ninety nine
I know.
US.
Yeah, fine, yeah, exactly.
When you convert that to Canadian, it hurts the wallet, but it's selling
That
for
cover,
significantly more.
how
Significantly
cool!
more.
How cool does he look on that cover?
Oh, it's so good. I like I said, I'm a big fan of also Boss Logic's cover. I think he absolutely
Oh,
killed it.
yeah, 100%. Hey, is this Caselli or is it uh Leadkill Ken Lashley?
No, it's not Lashley.
It's Caselli, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Another artist who I feel has toiled away of doing banger work since his time when he was drawing Ultimate Secret Warriors with Hickman. So
Mm.
clearly Hickman has an affinity for him because he worked on his new Avengers run as well, or Avengers run, and he's never gotten the respect he deserves, and now finally he's getting it, and I'm happy because I think he's one of the good ones, like really good. He tells a story well, but it flows the panels, and they're and it's great action as well. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm very pumped for this.
yeah. No, it is a Caselli cover, by the way. But yeah, couldn't agree more. But very impressive, guys. I know some people feel a certain way when it comes to this book. If you missed it, I do think it will come down. I don't think it's gonna hold at fifty
Well, it's
dollars
store.
Canadian.
I don't think it'll hold at 40-50, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't think this is ever going to be a cover price book for the
No,
next
no,
2 to
no.
3
I
years.
agree.
If
Yeah,
the
I agree.
quality of the writing and the book stay as high as it is,
Yeah.
the book won't drop to a cover price book.
Cover
Ever.
price, no, but definitely lower than
20
50.
bucks, it'll be a 20-buck book.
Yeah,
20, 25. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Around there, you won't be. You won't. If you could get it for that, give or take, you'll be okay.
exactly. But let's move on because we're gonna talk one that also came out was Doctor Afra number 40,
Complete
final
surprise.
issue. Yeah,
Yeah.
final issue of this run. 1 in 25 ratio by Ben Harvey. Dude came in at number 5 on CBSI, number 11 on cover price, but raw copies. Again, this is a 1 in 25 going for 130 to 160 Canadian.
That's just nuts.
Wild.
It's nuts. It's literally nuts. I I can't even imagine it.
Yeah.
But because I'm not even that big of a fan of the cover. Like I get when a cover is great. I mean, it's a good cover. I just don't love the cover, So, but I guess being at the last issue of the series, by the way, I'm a big fan of Doctor Afra as a concept.
Yeah.
Space
Same.
archaeologist, I think it's literally. I can't believe the character hasn't come to live action. I don't understand how they haven't found a way to get together there. I think she's ripe for it. I think she's a cool character.
I think it's in very soon time, to be honest. I don't think it's gonna be that much longer.
I mean, she's made for it. If you want, and they've done a good job in building out her character in the books as well. I think her with her crazy droids and everything, and her love interest is in this one. I think honestly, I'm a big fan of it. I probably wouldn't have went for the ratio at that price. There's no way.
Yeah.
But because again, I don't love the cover. Like you tell me that the Art Adams X-23 cover, I'm tempted every time I see it for $100.
Yeah.
This one tempts me less, even though Ben Harvey's a really good artist.
No, for sure. 130 to 160 Canadian is pretty up there for a 1 in 25 ratio. Obviously, we always try to pick up our ratio covers at ratio price, but
Yes,
very impressive sales on the secondary market for this book.
crazy.
Yeah. So definitely worthy of speaking about. Now, another one that just kind of blew my mind was Howard the Duck number 1. That's right. Now, guys, if you're wondering here, because first appearance of Beverly Switzler, first
Beverly,
solo
of course.
title. But yeah, Beverly was in the actual movie. I don't know if you remember that. I forget who she was played by. I remember seeing this actress in absolutely
The
everything.
Yeah, she played the mom from Back to the Future.
Yeah, exactly. But I forget her name. But anyways,
Le-
CGT 98 sold for 590 US dollars, dude. And near mint fair market value is 75 US dollars. Came in at number 18 on cover price. And again, I still have no idea as to why so many copies have been moving. Because cover price, reported that there was several copies that moved within the week. So pretty interesting.
Is it an anniversary coming up or something?
I have no idea what it is, man, but it was just it popped up and I was like, "What? Why?" And yeah, here we are.
Is he rumored to be in some kind of like animated thing or anything?
No idea, but we have seen Howard the Duck already within
Many
the
times.
MCU, right? So yeah, exactly. This isn't his first appearance; it's his first solo title. So it's
Yeah,
just
Simon is supposed to be Beverly
yeah,
Switzer. I guess they're thinking maybe she's gonna be in Deadpool.
no idea, man. But whatever it is, it's
I mean,
got people.
everybody else is.
Yeah, it's got exactly. At this point, might as well just say everyone in Deadpool. But yeah, man. So very interesting to see this one having taken, I guess we could say,
Yeah,
flight within the week.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's a bit foul.
Yeah. But all right, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, #1. That's right. We recently got casting confirmation, not rumors, about the Millie Alcock playing Kara Zor-El. I don't know.
Yeah,
It looked like a
that's it.
D. No, I know it's Kara Zor-El. I was like, is that a D? But no, it's not. It's Kara Zor-El. CGC 98 sold for $180 US. Pretty impressive. And
Yeah,
obviously near mint. Fair market value $30 US. Came in at number 19 on cover price, and again, due to the confirmation of the casting for the character, look, I do find it weird that this particular book took off. Now I get it because people are saying that's what the project's going to be called, the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I get it. Clearly, the first appearance is completely out of reach, so I figure this does make sense to be the next. I want to say one of the next books to pick up, but yeah, 180 US. I don't know, man.
look, I think we discussed it a few times. The problem with the DC spec, and which I think has hurt it, is that because most of the characters are old, we're talking about Golden Age old, it's hard to get some of the early appearances, right? So then you're like, okay, we'll get the Silver Age appearance, right? Like we just like, so okay, there's that. But then they've had some reboots, like massive, like reality shifting reboots. So it's Crisis. So it's a whole different character theoretically from
Yeah,
whatever was there. And then so then you lose the thread of which is the character that they're going to represent, right? There's so many mixing and matching of it, and it's harder to nail down what's going to pop off. So that's why we see this popping off, because it's the only one that we try to. Oh, we have a touch point. The title's the same, so okay, we go off that. Or like you said last time, the Quietly one popped off for Superman
yeah,
because James Gunn posted that as an image, right, of Superman sitting on the clouds. You know, um, because we don't really know where they're going, so they're just searching for storylines instead of searching for the characters, because you can't really spec on the actual characters for its appearances in this. They're just
yeah.
way out of reach for any normal collector.
Of
You
course.
know. Now the book was really good, so anybody gets there and reads this book and has it in his collection, they're happy. You know, so it's not as if you're gonna get a bad book on this, right? So now 180 USD, I guess for graded, you know, man, DC's quality in printing is so good. I
Yeah,
would go for find a raw one
yeah, and
and
slap
just
yourself.
submit it yourself. Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, DC's quality and printing is always through the roof. It's
Yep.
amazing, especially during this time. Now they've kind of slipped a little bit on their regular covers. Not the card stuff. The card stuff is still incredible, but on the regular covers, it is. So go get the book raw, get it graded. You'll enjoy it, and that's what I would recommend. Now, what
I
do you guys think about Millie Alcock or Millie Alcock? What do you
Alcock.
think?
Look, to be honest with you, I'm not even familiar with her. I don't even know any projects that she's worked on.
She was on the Game of Thrones, the new one.
I,
She played one of the dragon.
so I
Yeah.
explained my story to you regarding Game of Thrones, right? Why I didn't jump into watching it at all.
No, because I'm
Okay,
already angry at you about Mandalorian, and now you're gonna
so
do the Game of Thrones thing, and we're gonna have real problems. I
okay,
might get off the set.
so let's get everybody familiar with why I didn't watch Game of Thrones, and then we'll move on to the next book. But everybody, while I was, when it was out and playing, new episodes every Sunday, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Everybody was telling me you got to watch it, you got to watch it, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll get around to it. And then finally one Sunday, I'm changing channels, and oh, HBO. So I turn it on. I'm watching the episode, and everybody's being slaughtered. It was the
The
Red
Red
Wedding.
Wedding.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So after I saw that, I was like, well, that pretty much ruined it for me, right? So I just didn't bother. And
No, but it's also really just a really good story. People really hate the last season or season and a half. Listen, not everything ends the way we want it. So
Yeah.
it's still a fun ride when you got there. Same as Lost. People hate the Lost episode last season of Lost, but whatever. It is what it is. I mean,
I'll get
honestly.
around. I'll get around to Game of Thrones, but yeah, just back to the Millie Alcock. I don't know
She
much
looks
about
she
her.
looks she looks the part, but she looks a little bit petite. So I'm a little bit
Exactly.
worried that it might be a little bit too small.
Yeah,
But I mean, as it like with the Fantastic Four rumors of Pedro and everything, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because James Gunn has never really let me down. I've either liked or loved everything he's done in the comic genre. And B, I prefer a better actor than a
yeah,
person who looks exactly like the part.
for sure. Yeah,
So I'm okay if they're like I remember people with the Senshi when they were freaking when it was Stephen Young, right? And I'm like, well, Stephen Young's worked with the director and the writers. So if they feel that he can depict the Sentry the way it should be, even though he doesn't look like the Sentry I grew up with, like reading or anything,
mm,
I understand because I prefer. There's nothing inherently Caucasian about the Sentry, right? He was never
yeah.
like he's not essential that he's a Jewish man or a black man or
Nope.
an Asian man. So I'm okay with that. Now they went with Pullman now because it's another actor that they've worked with and they appreciate his work. So which again he fits more of the role obviously as being as a white guy the way we read it. So I have no problem either way. So I would prefer like with Pedro when they did the Pedro Pascal. If Shackman really thinks that he could do Reed justice, let's go.
Yeah.
He's not my first choice.
Nope. Same.
Uh,
Same.
but I'm interested to see creative decision made, good actors. That's what I want. So she's a good actress on Game of Thrones. I can assure you of that. So let's let it go. So she's a little bit petite. They'll just play it up as her being small and that juxtaposition versus the villains. More it'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll see how she plays out, but interesting sales nonetheless. Now,
Yes,
very interesting sale as well was Amazing Spider-Man Annual 22. That's right. This is a newsstand copy, first appearance of Speedball. Cover price shaker, CGC 98 sold for 450 US dollars. Dude, it's nuts because yes, the newsstand sold for this much, but I can tell you that 98s in a direct copy sell for dirt cheap and three times lower than that. Like you're looking within the $150 range at most.
the people who chase the newsstand just love the newsstand.
Yep.
They'll pay a premium, and for sure it's harder to get a newsstand in 98. Obviously, we're not going to obviously argue that point, but it's a premium that people are willing to pay. If you get newsstands, make sure you get them graded. You're going to make a lot more money if it's not important to you in your collection. Now, if it's in your collection, you want it. Some people are Mark Jeweler collectors, right? Some people, everybody has their vice. Everybody has the thing that they like, right? And
Yep.
people who want the newsstand, they're willing to pay. This is
Yeah.
what it shows you. As even though if the market's down, what the market is telling us is sometimes there's certain niches that the people will still pay because it's such a premium and hard thing to buy.
Exactly. And speaking on just speedball for a second, it's funny because the only person, literally the only person I ever met along all these years of doing now YouTube, it's what, maybe 2.5, almost 3 years, Newbie Comics. That's right. Newbie was the only guy to tell me, bro, pick up some speedball, man. I really think something might play out with speedball. And I swear to God, like he did make some sense when we had that discussion, and I kept coming across nice copies around $10 to $20 Canadian. Never newsstands though. I never came across newsstands in a good condition. So maybe that is another thing to factor. But direct copies, I could tell you I have maybe 4 copies that I picked up at around $10 Canadian, and they're all contenders.
So you gotta go. If we get announced, you're rocking and rolling, bro.
Yeah, that's the only time we'll thank Newbie Comics. So Newbie, if you're watching,
Newbies, good people. Come on.
he is. I love him. But all right, let's get away from Speedball and let's get to this right here. So Aliens, Colonial Marines, #1. This is a promo. So we'll get into a little discussion about what kind of a promo this was. But at San Diego Comic Con 2012, this was being given away because yes, the video game. That's right, the video game uh, was tied to this particular book. As you can see over there on the cover, you have Sega and of course Gearbox. Now, apparently there was some tremendous delays for this to even come out, and fans were actually not even happy with the end
The product.
result of the video game. And something that I read over on Cover Price is that, you know, they placed this game on the back burner, and you know they were focusing on games like Duke Nukem Forever, Borderlands 2. Um, but yeah, so the game took over 6 years to develop and was released to a mediocre reception. That's right. Most fans were not happy with the clunky gameplay and subpar graphics. Finally, this game experienced a slew of lawsuits, with Sega suing Gearbox, employees suing Gearbox, and fans suing Sega Gearbox. That was the end result of all of that. But lo and behold, we have this actual book here, the promo that was given away at San Diego Comic Con 2012 for this game. There's only 4 CGC 98s on census. CGC 98s recently sold for $400 US. Not bad.
Well, the lesson I learned from this is I was a fool when I used to go to Fan Expo and not take care of the promos I used to get.
Yes.
That's the first lesson I learned from this.
Yep.
Because this last couple of years, the promos are been popping off like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember getting them and just like dumping in my baggage, carrying it, looking for other books that I didn't even need, and who knows what. So that's the first lesson I learned from this. Second lesson is this is an incredible looking cover. So straight up, I could see why people would freak out. I don't even know who drew this. It looks like some kind of Malieve type thing or something. I don't even know. It's just fucking incredible.
Yeah, it doesn't really say. I have no idea.
No, I don't know. I have no idea. It's just really cool. But it really sucks that nobody liked the game, though.
Yeah.
That sucks. You know what I mean? Like you think that an Alien game, you can make it really creepy and fucking cool.
Yeah.
Have they even ever made a good Alien game? I don't even think so.
Not to my knowledge, so apparently not. So, I mean, I don't know if they want to explore it anymore.
I personally, again, I'm not a fan of the Alien genre that much where I wouldn't pay this much money, but it's if you're going to be an Alien chaser, like an Alien fan, this makes sense that you would go after this.
Yeah.
If there's only 4 copies of CGC 98, it makes sense that the price would go this high. Like it's exactly why people were freaking out. Remember the Spawn collectible? We just found out that the guy tanked the market because the guy had a whole case at his house. You know. But if there's only 3, 4, 100, or 200, that exclusivity and that rarity, it makes sense that the book would go that high. And again, it makes sense that there's only 498s because people will just dump it in the bag and walk around with it. So
for sure, I also just find the story tied to this book to be rather entertaining.
Incredible.
So, yeah, it kind of makes you want it that much more if you have the opportunity to own the book just because
everybody got sued.
Yep, exactly.
Nobody left unscathed.
Yep.
The workers, the companies, everybody, even a couple of fans probably sued each other.
Yeah.
Why'd you tell me to buy it, bro?
Yeah.
You told me to buy it. It's the worst game ever. I'm suing you for telling me to buy it.
Exactly.
That's basically what happened.
Let's talk some Deadpool, man. Deadpool 2, that's right. This is the Vanilla Ice to the Extreme homage cover. CGC 98 sold for $600 US. Cover price shaker. Now, you were telling me just before how this is up your alley, sir.
Oh, 100%. Nobody can resist Ice Ice Baby. Everybody who hates Vanilla Ice will still love that song. It is the perfect radio / wedding / chilling song you've ever seen. It gets you into the mood immediately. You're automatically put in a better mood when you hear Ice Ice Baby.
I want to see you bust a move when.
No, I'm too old. I'll just bust my hip, I think.
Yeah.
If I bust a move. So
pretty much.
I won't let my backbone slide. If you know that who sang that song, Maestro Fresh West. Yes. You know Maestro Fresh West? Oh, you're too young for that, Jelano.
I'm not too young. Dude, I was listening to the Carpenters when I was young.
Okay,
so
fair enough. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
There you go. But speaking busting moves, this one's busting wallets on the secondary market because yes,
crazy.
98 sold for $600 US.
Now, are we thinking that it only went up because of the Deadpool movie?
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. But the hip hop variants do very well. So
I'm addicted to them now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the Scotty Youngs now. Every time I see one for a good price, I pick it up.
You want to pick it up.
Yeah. And because you don't know which one's going to pop off eventually.
Exactly.
I'm looking for the X23 one.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the DMX one. If I want to doing the DMX one.
Yep.
I think Sanford Green has a cool one. I saw a friend of ours, Immortal Idiots, posted it's De La Soul one. It's also amazing. Anyways, they're all great, and this is just another one. But they did 2 runs of them, right?
Yeah, it's ironic. Yes, they did, and it's ironic you mentioned the Blood for My Blood because I want that one as well.
Or the Sanford Green one?
The all new X-Men, the all new Wolverine #1.
Oh yeah, that's the one. It's gonna be a race who's gonna get it
Yeah,
because
you're probably gonna get it first, but
yeah,
let's get to the Gremlins. That's right, because Gremlins. This is the UK version, by the way, and
love
it's
this
funny.
show.
Yeah, I was telling you just
The movie,
beforehand
sorry.
how Gremlins was one of my favorite movies with my wife that we watched when we first met, and ironically, we had two little kids that pretty much are Gremlins. There's only two on the CGC census, with a 7.0 being the highest grade, and that 7.0 just recently sold for 1,500 US dollars. It was another cover
That's
price
nuts.
shaker. Yeah, exactly. Now, this again, Marvel UK, right? It's the UK version. This is not the American version. Now, the American version goes for significantly lower than North
Yeah,
American, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, man. So only two of the UK version are on the census, and this one was the highest one.
that much, but to be 1,500 USD. Jeez,
Hey,
that's
listen,
a lot.
it's the highest grade out there for this book.
I
So
know, I
yeah,
know. I mean, but who in the UK at the time when it came out was watching and making sure that the Gremlins official comic strip adaptation was taken care of?
yeah,
Because
exactly.
most likely every single kid got this.
Yeah,
No older person was getting this. Like now, if this came out, we would be all over it. As collectors, we be sealing it up into any kind of bag and board and making sure. But back then, I mean, comic artists and writers weren't buying comic collectors
yeah.
who weren't really buying Gremlins. They were maybe buying Star Wars, but even those are hard to find at this time. So yeah, no, that's it makes sense that there's not that many higher grades, but it just seems really high. Like I mean, the
Yep.
price.
Dude, look,
I love
for
Spike and the boys,
yeah.
but it's tough for me to go there.
Yeah, foreign books are doing very well on the secondary
Yeah,
market right now, to the point where Go Collect added a awesome feature to their website, right?
really.
Yeah, that they're tracking. You get sales data on foreign comics and so forth. So they have a whole
There's
section
a few
dedicated
I've been
to
looking
that.
at lately that we've been talking about that maybe
Really?
we've discussed it with Anthony.
Yeah, yeah. I know which one. Yeah,
So we'll see what we can do there.
yeah.
But I think that
I'm
I
always
think they're.
down. I'm always down
I
for a
actually
panini.
wish. Yeah, yeah, me too. I've actually seen like even Greek comics where they spell like Spider-Man and Spider-Man like in
Yeah,
Greek way with
yeah,
like the Greek letters, and
yeah.
they're getting CGC'd and they're being sold for massive amounts of money.
Yep,
So yeah,
exactly.
there's definitely a market for foreign books now, 100%.
Yep, definitely worthy of keeping an eye out for. But another book that we were kind of taken back by was Daredevil 232 newsstand. Again, we just spoke about newsstands. First appearance of Nuke, CC 98 sold for $673, 8 cents Canadian, and this was a cover price shaker. Now, we were talking about Nuke, possibilities of the character, maybe, making his way with Captain America and so forth. Like we were talking a little bit before going live for this, but again, this is another book where you can pick up in a direct copy for significantly lower. But Nuke is a pretty interesting character, and obviously, all
Yeah,
Daredevil books right now seem to be pretty hot.
look, it's a classic story, right? Let's be honest, and it would work either with Daredevil, maybe as a Punisher counterpart, or
Hmm.
even as a Captain America one. Like I mean, it works with all of them. So it makes sense, and he would fit in the Captain America, especially with the reshoots that are coming.
Yeah,
So maybe they're because I've heard that they eliminated the Serpent Society. So
yeah,
maybe they want to go something a little bit more gritty and down to earth. So adding Nuke there would be make sense. Now my question is, would they put Nuke from the Daredevil show?
I
It
don't
was
know.
on Daredevil, right? Or is
Yeah,
it or was it on Jessica Jones?
I think it was Jessica Jones.
Yeah, it was on Jessica Jones, and that wasn't good. You
Yeah,
know, so I mean, I don't know where they're gonna go with that. Jessica Jones was good. It just the Nuke storyline wasn't good, but Jessica Jones was a great storyline. Purple Man's incredible.
yeah.
So
Season one was good.
yeah, season one, yes, with Purple Man, yeah. So I love Nuke as a character. I love this run. So I'm ecstatic that the book's there. What I again, if there's a big difference between newsstand and not newsstand, I don't know what it is. I would just go with the direct I mean, again, I'm not a newsstand chaser, but it definitely is a premium there. Like, again, it shows people are just willing to pay the premium for the newsstand.
Yeah.
That's what the market is telling us.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's not, again, not something that I would play the premium. I'd rather go after a second book if I could instead of that, right? But it definitely, the ones that really pique my interest as far as newsstands are the ones in the year 2000s. Now we're talking
now we're
about
talking another ball game.
now we're talking about real, the rarefied air, you know. So
Yeah.
that one gets me sometimes, you know. Like I have a new Avengers 40 in that, you know, which is like what, it's like 500 stands in the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's cool to have for me, you know. I'll say, but like for this stuff, I get it. People love it. So, and it's a good book. So at least I can't. None of the books I saw today, other than maybe the Howard the Duck, that I would say like this is just I would never want to own. Like every single one of them I would want to own right now. Other than, and I would still want the Howard the Duck as well.
Yeah.
It's just that I wouldn't pay anywhere near that price.
Yeah. No.
Like if I had disposable income, I'm trying to go for a Daredevil run. I'm willing to pay this.
Yeah.
But it's just not Daredevil's not my jam. It's the X-Men that's my jam. So
yes,
that's my advice.
But all right, let's go to the next one. Now, this is rather interesting. We spoke Newbie Comics, and if there's anyone that's picking up Simpsons right now, it's him. So, Simpsons Comics, issue 3, special barcode. Now, if you're wondering what that is about, as you can see, there's no barcode, it's a Bart code. There's obviously direct copies of this that exist, right, where you don't have any barcode or anything at the front. But CGC 96 sold for $600 US. That is quite a premium for this book. Cover price shaker, and I've come to learn that these little Bart codes actually can compile an image, right? So like they had it scattered across multiple books, like example Radioactive Man and so forth. So I don't think I've never come across one. I know Nemesis Prime actually was messaging me earlier today in our group chat with Newbie and Rocksteady and Milton, the Manimal. So you know, he came across this book at $10, but without the Bart code. So just to give you an idea of how much of a drop that goes, right? But one thing I find interesting about this cover, it really reminds me of Amazing Spider-Man 100.
Oh, it definitely has that vibe. 100%. No pun intended. Yeah. It's actually a really good cover the more I see it, to be honest with you. It stands out. Bart and Lisa stand out.
Yeah.
I never got into Simpsons comics, but sometimes I wish I did.
Yeah.
You know, like I've had a few around, you know, and I wish I knew more about the ones that are worth something and not, you know, because I find them in the wild sometimes everywhere, but I just don't know which ones are good and which are not. It's a little bit of a blind spot, but there's a lot of interesting ones. And it's that franchise, God bless them. What, 25 years now?
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I wish I knew more about it. I think the Bart code thing is incredible as a great concept.
I think it's more than 25 years.
Oh, we're looking at 30.
Yeah, easily.
We're looking at 30 years. Yeah. It was the 90s. It was the 90s. In 1990, it was 30 years old.
It's funny because you said 25 years, and in my head that felt like 1995.
No.
I know.
That was like 2000. But I think it's like we're looking at 30 to 35 years.
Yeah.
But I think the Bart code is again a very innovative way to get people to collect.
Yeah, it's real cool. But
yeah,
it was interesting when I came across it. Like you said, Simpsons Comics. Not many people talk about it. I know Newbie Comics is heavily, collecting it now this year. But not much information out there as well. If you go on, let's say, Key Collector, and by no means,
it's a blind spot everywhere.
Yeah, this is not a knock at Key Collector or any website at all. But if you try to find, some information, you really have to dig because it's not available, really.
No, it's like one of those niches.
Yep. But all right, let's move on to Transformers 68. That's right, the first appearance of Neo Knights. There's 13 CGC 98s on the census, and CGC 98 just recently sold for $1,099 US, cover price shaker. We were talking a bit before about the Neo Knights. Look, to be honest with you, it wasn't anything I was really familiar with because at this time I was not really collecting Transformers comics, and I don't recall them in any of the animated stuff back in the day. Right? I watched the original Transformers from the 80s, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Dude, again, hold on. Interesting sale because there's only 13 9/8 on census. So again, very low number when it comes to the census. But do you think it justifies the price? What's your thoughts?
I think late issue Transformers, like I was telling you before, when they changed the logo up there, are always something worth to take a look at. You know what I mean? Like, hey, what's this about? Right? Whenever you run into them, in a high grade, which one it is. Now, the only way I could see it possibly being justified, look, kids were probably reading Transformers most of the time, so the books weren't in great condition, I presume. The only way I could see this being justified, it can be a spec thing. Maybe it is, and I don't know because I'm not following enough. But I haven't heard anything about it in the Energon universe or anything.
Me neither.
Maybe someone thinks that they might come to the Energon universe because maybe that's what they're thinking. But I think it's probably a guy who's trying to collect the whole run of Transformers in 9/8 or something, and there's only 13. It comes up for sale once in a blue moon, and the guy went for it.
Yeah.
That's the only way to justify it. Like, you know what I mean? The guy has disposable income. For me, it has to be a guy who's just that's all he's collecting and has disposable income, and he went for it. That's the only logical thing because he's looking for the whole run in 9/8. What about you? What do you think? I mean,
Yeah, no, makes sense. Like I said, for myself, I'm not too familiar with the characters, nor do I have any idea about
I have
them
zero.
coming into the Energon universe. I don't think I caught on any references.
Yeah,
And to
me
be
neither.
honest
I don't
with
know.
you, even if there were references, I probably would have missed it because I'm not too familiar with Neonites. So, regardless of the fact,
What I wanted to say is, if you're doing this, if you're purchasing this because you're hoping it's gonna go higher
yeah, I don't think
because
so.
they're gonna come in Energon universe, you have to be a lunatic.
Yeah.
If you're purchasing it because, hey man, I want to finish my run and that's what it is, and
Hmm.
you got the cash, more power to you. God bless. Collect what you want and be happy.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the difference, I think, in that.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of a difference.
Yeah, I think that scarcity of the 9/8, though. You know what I mean? Like you said, those kids that were reading the books and so forth, 13 CGC 9/8 on census. Yeah, I
Was
can
there ever
imagine.
a toy of no? Like, who could be such a massive fan of the Neonites that he needed
I'm
this? It
sure.
has to
I'm
be.
positive there were toys, man. I think I've seen Transformers come out with so many characters when it comes to toys.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's just crazy. Yeah.
yeah. But all right, a huge, massive sale took place for Showcase issue 4, origin and first appearance of the Silver Age Flash. CGC 96 sold for 900,000 US dollars. That in Canadian is well over $1 million easily. Cover price key of the week. Now, this big sale, dude, could you imagine coming across this book in a 9.6? I was so impressed when I saw the CGC 9.8, the pedigree of Amazing Spider-Man 1. And lo and behold,
Okay.
we saw there was like a little spine tick. But regardless of the fact of the spine tick, coming across this in a 9.6 is very impressive.
Madness. It's
Yeah,
madness.
exactly.
Man.
Insanity. I would freak out just looking at this book.
Look, if I was in the ball, if I had this is a book that if I had the money and the resources, I would definitely buy.
Yeah.
Even for 900,000. You know what I mean? Again, to be thinking about $900,000 books, you have to have obscene money. You're like Nicolas Cage money, where you're just a collector. Like if I was Nicolas Cage and I had a chance to buy this book at 9.6, I would definitely invest in money.
Yeah.
Like you get what I mean? If like Seth Rogen buys books all the time, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm that dude, that ballpark, I'm going for this.
Yeah.
Because this is the kind of book it's 9.6. You're not going to get better at this age, at this grade. Impossible. Is there
Not,
anything above it in this grade?
not to
It
my
has to be the
knowledge.
highest graded. It has to be.
I have no idea.
It's
I
a
haven't checked.
massive key. Ezra Miller couldn't have killed the Flash because he's still going for $1.2 a $1.2 million sale. So you know what? Yeah, it's worth every penny.
Yeah, no, I don't think any movie, regardless, like you can have the best movie, the shittiest movie when it comes to the Flash. The Flash will always hold.
Yeah,
But seeing this Silver Age, you know, book hit 900,000 US dollars is huge, man. And it I again, I know people are like by no means could see anybody justify spending that much money on a comic book, but yeah, I think this is definitely a beautiful purchase.
I think people who buy types of things like this, they're not comic book collectors per se. They're rare memorabilia collectors.
Yeah.
right? They don't just stay in one lane. They just buy the rarest thing they could find of the rarest thing. So this guy might have a Mickey Mantle glove or something,
Yeah.
and he'll have First Flash 9.6
Yeah.
and Heisen. You get what I mean? That's the type of person we're I think we're dealing with. You know, those guys who go to those auctions. It's a different kind of environment, I think, than what we're used to at a local comic shop.
For sure. But besides this big sale, we have some Baker Shakers to discuss. That's
My
right.
boy told you it's going to be Spawn adjacent. Told you.
There you go. So Venom #1. This is from the 2018 run, the 1 in 1,000 sketch, Todd McFarlane sketch. Sorry, dude. CGC 98 sold for $774.04 Canadian. Baker Shaker. I think this is awesome because it's I forget what's the word they use, if it's like a remastered or reimagined cover for Todd McFarlane, but like I was telling you earlier, it kind of reminds me of ASM 316.
Definitely has that vibe. Yeah,
meets, like you were saying, 315. But yeah, I like it. I really like this. Dude, 1 in 1,000 sketch McFarlane. Like, if you have this in a 9.8, dude, imagine buying this in a 9.8 for 774 Canadian.
I don't think the price is that bad.
No, I was just gonna say, I would totally crack it open and send it in for a signing.
Oh, I don't know if I would sign it.
I would.
That would. I mean, listen, it makes sense. It would be an amazing signature, 100%. But I don't think the price is bad.
No,
for 1 in 1,000.
Yeah.
From 2018. I mean, I think this is a good price.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised Baker didn't get it.
Yeah, same. And especially, with the all black border going around, like, it's probably, I don't know. I would assume it's probably tough to come across in a 9.8. I don't know. I would hope that they were properly handled back in 2018 and that people kept these copies in a safe manner. But I'd totally be cracking it and getting it signed.
This is the run that Donnie was doing, Kate's, right?
No, Kate's was afterwards. I think this was right before Kate's. Yeah, because Kate's was, I think, 20. I want to say 2020. Was it somewhere there?
Maybe end of 2019, 2020, then to 2021, 22.
Yeah.
And then 23 wasn't him. He got, somewhere around there. So it was the series right before.
Yeah.
No, listen.
Go ahead.
I'm all for this. Like, honestly, between me and you, I think that I don't even think it's that obscene for a 1 in 1,000. 1 in 1,000 Todd doing Venom. I mean, that's not bad at all.
Yeah. No, you got me.
I really think that Todd's gotta do a run on ASM before it's all said and done.
Oh yeah, no. Look, if there's anybody who does the best Venom, it's
Todd.
Yeah, it's hands down.
I think he's always said that he wanted to do a Spawn versus Spider-Man crossover. It just never materialized, but he has ideas.
Yeah, you got me curious, man. I'm checking if this is the Donny Cates run.
Is it?
I'm not too sure.
Donny did how many issues? Like 30, right?
Yeah, but I remember, because, dude, it was Venom 3 popped off within the pandemic, so.
Yeah, that's right. But was it released during the pandemic?
Yeah, I think so. Not the Venom 3. I think, like, it was in the later issues. But anyways, we'll look into it and get back to everybody. But yeah, regardless of the
fact, I just got you the information.
Go for it.
It was Donnie's run.
This is Donnie's run?
Yeah.
No way.
Well, according to cover price, 2018 was Donnie's run.
Okay, so there you go.
1 in 1,000 remastered.
Okay, so it's a Donnie Cates run.
Yeah, the 1 in 500 is the color version of this.
Okay, that makes sense. But the 2018, like, I feel like 2018, there was, what was that one run right before the Donnie Cates run that was like it was rather small? Oh no,
that was 2016.
Yeah, 2016. Okay.
It was the one with the Venom cover that it was like a sideways. You had the tongue coming out.
Yes, I know exactly.
Sandoval drew it.
Yep. All right. Well, there you have it. The Donnie Cates run. So thank you for confirming.
So it's even probably the run of Venom and the artist doing a 1 in 1,000. For me, it's a no-brainer as far as a book.
Yep. I agree. But Baker Shaker, that's right. Obviously,
Baker
Michael
knows how to
Baker.
pick them, bro.
He does. He does. But here's another one that we were talking about. Baker Shaker, Spider-Man Noir #1, first appearance of Spider-Man Noir. CGC 98 sold for $1,238 Canadian, and that is rather puzzling, to be honest, because that is a $700 Canadian book at max on eBay. I've seen sales from 400 to 600. It's always going
Yeah,
up and down. 4, 7, 4, 6, 4. It's all over the place. But 1,238 Canadian. I looked at this listing. I saw the sales. I think it hit about 47 bids. I don't know if this became a pissing contest, but yeah,
it might have.
1,200.
Or
Pretty
there might
impressive.
be some shenanigans here.
Yeah. There's by no way would I pay that for this book. I even checked the sale of the 9/8, and I checked the serial
Yeah,
code, put it in on the CGC verification, and when I went to see the graders notes, there's nothing. There's no. This is no newsstand. This was a direct edition, so not too sure what this sale was, but pretty interesting.
I I mean, do they? Is it because the show's coming?
I don't think that would be worthy of speculation to have this hit the prices that it did.
Double what it's supposed to sell? It doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, you could pick up 2 copies. That's what I didn't understand. So, anyways,
It seems whack.
it does. But
Yeah, there seems shenanigans here.
yeah, so 2 Baker Shakers, lots of books that we discussed. That was the market, my friends. So, we are clocking in at 1 hour 16, and we are going to get into the hot topics now. But
Oh no,
yeah,
that's not good.
it's
I'm basically talking too much because we're already at an hour 16 minutes.
oh, don't worry about it, because the hot topics, we have a lot to discuss. So,
Yeah,
for
I
those of
know.
you
That's the
sticking
thing.
around, yeah. So I'm gonna have to ask everybody who's watching right now: are you guys ready? Chiapet, are you ready?
Hella ready.
Let's go. Hello, ready. Right. So the hot topics of the week, of course, talking some comic book stuff, and we're gonna be talking some of the stuff happening within Disney, the MCU, DC, you name it, all of that fun stuff. We're gonna get into some of the hot topics, and first and foremost, being that several artists at the moment are walking away from Cadence Comic Art. So I don't know if you guys have seen this on Instagram, but or Twitter or X, whatever you call it these days, on social media in general, I've been seeing a lot of artists posting that they're no longer going to be affiliated with them. And here's a perfect example. So, Cadence Comic Art is one of the largest comic artists reps in the business. Over the last week, several artists announced on social media they are no longer represented by them. It's believed that the company had many unfilled orders. So this is possibly why a lot of the artists are walking away. So as you can see, Sarah Pichelli right there posted on her Instagram. This is at least where I saw it. And she says, "Hi folks, I'm no longer represented by Cadence Comic Art." Now, all the artists were posting the exact same message,
Yeah,
right? It's like this
a
is
legal message.
exactly. So
Yeah.
Except for a couple of clients who are still waiting for long overdue commissions, please contact me if you read this. All the inquiries about any unfulfilled orders should be directed to Cadence, as the artists are not involved in sales or order fulfillment. For now, you can contact me about original art, commissions, and invitations to shows at, she puts her email, and thank you for support. So, it's rather strange that this is even going on.
To be honest with you, I never even heard of Cadence Comic Art, but I'm not really buying original art, so that
Yeah,
would make the most sense. For me, it seems as either they lied about how many spots there were and they pocketed the money,
yeah,
right? And then they just started giving the artists lower the money, like I mean the commissions later and later, and then people started contacting the artists directly in this day and age, and then the jig got up, right? And the artists like, why are these people saying they have an art and then there's no submission here? Like whatever the process is, and they're calling them out on it, and then artists talk. I don't know how you think you could get away with this, or they were just taking the submissions, never fulfilling them, and selling it to somebody else.
oh,
Either way,
that
there was some kind of shenanigans happening.
no, exactly, and that also honestly wouldn't surprise me. But being one of the biggest reps for the artists. I just don't understand why you would even want to do such a thing, right?
Yeah, how does it get there?
Yeah,
Like, how do you get? So it has to be the first part where they're overbooking the artist, collecting the money, and keeping people waiting,
yeah,
and then it just steamrolled to the point where they couldn't keep up anymore.
yeah. I think that's exactly what took place, and maybe all the artists. This paints a poor image for them, right?
It's not even
Because
their fault. Like, I mean, at one point, it's this is the shenanigans of their agents.
yeah. So to see all the artists come together and walk away saying like, hey, if you have any overdue commissions or whatever, contact me directly. Like now,
They
it,
probably even haven't even got the money for the work that they've done. The artists,
oh, who knows? Who knows?
who
But
knows what's going on?
yeah, but it's something I'm definitely going to keep a closer eye on because I find this to be rather interesting. It seems like poor taste almost on behalf of Cadence. So we'll see, but
I think
pretty
they're gonna be out of business soon. I think they're gonna go on complete hiding. It's for sure. They're
oh,
gonna declare bankruptcy.
wouldn't surprise
You,
me.
if you lose the artist, what are you gonna do? And
Exactly.
I'm more fascinated with this story than I am with a bunch of two-bit hucksters trying to scam the CGC.
Yeah.
Not because it's not the CGC is affecting a lot more people and what they've bought, 100%, and it's also probably criminal because it's also you're stealing, right? But this could also be stealing as well, and you're also kind of violating a little bit of you're breaking apart the trust between the artist and the person who's buying it,
Exactly, man.
which is
And
such an
then
intimate relationship in that way too.
exactly. No, it's not possibly criminal. It's fully criminal what's
Yeah,
happening
yeah,
with
for sure.
CDC
Yeah,
stuff. But when it comes to this, that's exactly my point of view. Is you know, picture yourself, right? You purchase whatever it may be from an artist that you highly appreciate, and then you're not getting it fulfilled. It's kind of like what the hell? You don't have mostly a hate for the company, the rep. It's mostly the artist. You start to feel a
yeah,
certain way about the artist, right? You're like, what the
hundred
fuck?
percent.
I
Look,
bought something off of Pichelli and she didn't even send me my stuff, right? That's how you feel.
so I'm presuming Pichelli never even saw the money or
Yeah.
any artist because I'll put it this way: I got a submission. I submitted to for a remark for Art Adams in the CGC. Okay, and then we haven't gotten back. It's been like ages. And then I heard through Luciano from our chat, and he said,
Mhm.
"Hey, the thing is that CGC accepted too many pieces for art, and he's a little bit of a slow artist now in his age,
Yeah.
that he's decided to take them home, and he's drawing them with extra effort to everybody who's delayed to get a better submission, so he doesn't want to rush it. Okay, so see, that's what a responsible artist would do, and I think most of them are like that, where they think to themselves, "These people paid for something. I received money for this. I'm going to give them the best work." So
Mm.
the thing I'm thinking here is Pichelli and Joel Jones and all of them never even saw a dime for these submissions. They didn't even communicate with the other person. That's the weird part. Now one could argue, should they have been involved in the email process? Every email that they get submitted, that the other guy accepts, should they be getting it in their mailbox so they can know what's happening? Maybe they weren't logical, but a lot of times these guys, they hire agents to not have to do that.
Yeah.
The whole point of this company is so they won't have to be involved in those transactional day-to-day stuff.
And now they have no choice but to get involved.
Yes, crazy.
Yeah. We'll see how this continues to unfold. But like you said,
By the way, and the rep
sorry?
took a hit. No matter what, the rep took a hit.
Yeah,
It's for sure.
100%. But all right, let's talk about a absolute legend over here. That's right. Rob Liefeld is saying goodbye to Marvel Comics. Now, Liefeld has decided he will retire from Deadpool once he has completed work on a book for Marvel that will hopefully hit shelves this summer. But he went on to say that I can't continue to grind like this. So why not make the last grind something memorable? Now, what he's implying is that he came out saying that he was hoping to maybe go till the age of 70, right? But at a younger age, he's just father time is catching up over here. And he was talking about his hands and keeping up with that grind that Marvel has going. It's just difficult for him now. He's done so much work in it's what over 30 years, right? Since
Yeah.
He's been working, and it's sad. It's sad, of course. I'm sad to see. You know, you think Deadpool. Who do you connect Deadpool with immediately, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
100%.
yeah,
Um, I grew up on Rob Liefeld. Like that was my jam. I would like. I remember. I'm embarrassed to say that I thought he was a better artist than Mike Mignola. I always laughed. And I was a kid. I thought Mike Mignola was terrible, and Rob Liefeld was awesome. And he had like a kinetic energy to his art. So like a kid, that's his jam, right? You know. But I still have a love hate relationship with him.
yeah, same,
That's what I could best describe
same.
it. I will like listening to him. I'll roll my eyes, slap my head. I'm like, what am I listening to? He's an idiot. But I'll go back to it because he's always interesting.
Yeah,
That's the thing about Rob Liefeld. He's not dull.
yeah,
He's opinionated. His art is not dull. It's often terrible, but not dull.
yeah,
It's that it engages you. And I think he loved Deadpool. I think he doesn't give enough credit to some of the other artists and writers who
that were
helped
involved.
develop him.
Yeah,
Because the reality is the Deadpool we know today developed mostly under Fabian Nicieza and no, sorry, under Joe Kelly and Ed McGuinness. They're the guys who broke the fourth wall in that Deadpool run. They're the guys who did all that stuff. Had the whole other bounty hunters and other kind of guys in the guild and all that stuff and the bar and everything with Blind Al. All that stuff was under Joe Kelly's run and Ed McGuinness. So I think Rob should probably concede that, hey, you created a cool looking character. It was basically Spider-Man and Deathstroke had a baby, basically.
yeah, yeah.
And then they added more zaniness to him. But it's still sad to see this because
Yeah.
I still pick up his books. I
Yeah,
pick up
same.
all his Deadpool stuff. I pick it up
I will,
religiously.
of course, I will always question the Captain America 1 cover. I'm not talking
But
the chess one.
okay, because he didn't. That was never a cover.
No,
It was a
I wasn't
promo art.
talking about that
Yeah,
book. I was talking about Captain America
the
1 with
weird
the
floating head one.
floating head, and there's like a
Yeah,
floating hand.
yeah. It doesn't make any sense. The whole
No,
thing doesn't make sense. So
whatsoever. I will always question it, but I will
you just
never.
throw a hand in there and throw a head in there,
Yeah,
and
but
let's just
it'll
hope for the
never.
best.
Yeah, it'll never take away from everything he has brought forth. And so to see this, it's kind of sad. I don't know if he'll continue to do other stuff on a smaller scale. That's what I'm.
I still maintain that we're going to see him come back within 5 to 10 years. The return of Rob Liefeld for one last run again.
Yeah,
Get the cover. Maybe a cover was there, or in Deadpool 5, you'll do a cover for something or something. But I do think that he's matching it with Deadpool 3, the return of Deadpool in the Marvel Universe, his farewell. Rob is a very good marketer of himself and of Deadpool.
yep.
So this makes sense to me.
As long as his comeback isn't along the lines of Frank Miller.
But I was telling my brother, some of the other Frank Miller covers, other than the Wolverine one,
Yeah, no,
haven't
they're
been
good. They're
bad.
good.
They've been good.
Yeah, they are.
It's the Wolverine one was just abomination.
I
It didn't
actually
make
didn't like.
sense.
I didn't like the Batman one either.
The Batman one?
He recently did a Batman one
I
not
didn't
too
see the
long ago.
Batman one. But
Yeah, it was.
I mean the Cap one for Avengers Twilight is nice.
Yes, it is. It is.
It's nice. It's a nice cover. Straight up.
It's decent.
The Moon Knight was also nice.
No, I didn't like it. I'm not gonna lie. That one I didn't like, and the Cap one is decent. I'm gonna give it a decent on the Twilight. Yeah, but anyways, let's get into some of this stuff. So yes, this is pretty interesting because Gina Carano to sue Disney for wrongful termination. Elon Musk set to fund the lawsuit. So in the lawsuit, Carano seeks to be rehired by Disney. I don't know, man. This is touchy because look, I just want to say this. I appreciate people being vocal. I appreciate people speaking up against things that they just don't agree with, and it's totally fine. Like there's nothing wrong nor right by speaking. Your point of view. I think everybody should be open to hearing people's thoughts, but it seems that she she went maybe a little too far, is what I'm understanding, because a lot of it was tied to during the pandemic, right? There was the vaccines and stuff like that. Now, by no means am I pro-vax or anti vax. I stand. I know where I stand.
You're vaccine agnostic. You're
No,
not
but
taking any. You're not taking.
I know where I stand on that
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
That I want to get it, no. That I have to get it, yes. That's all I'm gonna say. But
yeah. Listen,
yeah, but
we came through as a society. We're better for it. We're out of the woods. That's all that matters now.
e-
Let's
e-
not dwell on the past.
exactly. But now seeing her, because she was pretty vocal, right? There was a lot that took place on her behalf, and now seeing Elon Musk getting involved, this is interesting because the Disney stuff. You were talking a little something as well when politicians as well tried to go after Disney at one
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
So I'm curious to know what's your thoughts on this. Very short. Let's keep this one short.
Look, um, I think Musk has lost a little bit of the train, a little bit now. I think he spends too much time on social media, which it's bad for all of us. Not Elon Musk. No one is immune to the effects that being stuck in an echo chamber does to us. No one. If you're constantly surrounded by yes men or an echo chamber of your own, so whatever ideas you have, you find a group of people, or just because the algorithm feeds you a group of people that agree with you, right, and that like you, and you get the adrenaline rush of the like and the retweet that gives you proven fact of a release of serotonin. What's that thing that comes? It's proven. They do it on purpose. It's purpose. So he bought into something, and you spend your whole time, 90% of your time on that. It warps your view of what you could do, and if your beliefs are normal. So I think Elon Musk is super successful and great in so many ways, but I think he's lost the plot in here a little bit. And I think at the end of the day, I think Gina Carano was probably a bit of a doofus on the set, or maybe a bit of an asshole, and they found an excuse to get rid of her.
Could be.
If they wanted to bring her back, they would have just brought her back. If Favreau and Filoni loved her, you think now that it's all over, they wouldn't have just brought her back? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Look.
If they didn't get rid of like Lakeisha Wright,
No.
but they got rid of Victoria Alonso, who was an asshole.
Yeah.
Right? They just look for the excuse to get rid of the asshole till you slip up and they get rid of you. So maybe, like, first of all, I was never a big fan of the character, right? So me losing her, I didn't go crazy. I'm like, oh no, we lost Gina Carano off the Mandalorian. For me, I was like, whatever. I mean, you're gonna make the Rangers of the Republic based on her. I don't think this is a good idea. So for me, losing her, it didn't affect me because I was not a huge fan of Gina Carano, right? So I'm sure there's other fans out there who loved her. So I get that. So I get that. But maybe they're not getting when they got rid of. I love Edward Norton. I think the guy is incredible. I think I love Terrence Howard. He's an incredible actor. Okay, they're hard to deal with. The fact is, they're hard to deal with. In productions like in Marvel and in Disney, they do not want hard to deal with actors. They got rid of Ed Norton, who looked better as Bruce Banner than Mike Ruffalo did. Okay. Because he would not play nice with the other people, and they know it. He demands script changes, demands all things. And I'm not saying Gina Carano was demanding script changes. I'm just saying in these things, in ensemble cast and everything, they want minimal stress and minimal problems. Same as why do you think they love Katie Sackhoff? She played on Battlestar Galactica, no problem. She's used to being part of a crew of people, right? They want that. They don't like that when they strike out like that. Victoria Alonso, like I said, Disney cleaned out all types of extreme ideology, I think, or vocal ideology. They didn't want to be associated with any of that stuff. Now, you might say they had Brie Larson, who was kind of vocal when she did her first Captain Marvel. Remember? She was like, female power, this and that, I think a lot of her comments were weaponized against her. You take a clip of it and you blow it out of proportion, right? Obviously, you take away context, but I'm not going to sit there and justify it. I don't think she's as at ease talking as other people are, right? And she comes off doofusy, They couldn't get rid of her because she's part of $1 billion property, and you're not going to cut her, right? It's harder to cut her than it is Victoria Alonso or Gina Carano.
Exactly.
Now, Elon is doing Elon things. He has more money to burn. He wants to prove a point. He's going to go do this. He's going to talk about it on Twitter, and it's going to die down within 6 months.
Pretty much. I think you hit most points. So yeah, I don't have much more to add to that. But yeah, Pretty interesting to see this take place. Now, we're going to talk comics and we're going to talk this particular one because this one exploded over the week. Even prior to release, it was starting to see some numbers increase. But this being very interesting coming from Bleeding Cool, who reported this. So, Penguin loses thousands of copies of Ultimate Black Panther #1. So, reported by Bleeding Cool, Penguin Random House has apparently lost thousands of copies of the main cover of Ultimate Black Panther #1. Bleeding Cool states they were given the number of 12,000 copies lost. Now, I find this weird, okay, for multiple reasons. And I was telling you earlier how, one, it's ironic how it's this book that's getting discussed because I mean books have gone missing or delayed or whatever it may be in the past and nobody ever talks about it, but this book being a hot book, ironically 12,000 copies had gone missing. So I found that strange out the gate. Now I know people feel a certain way when it comes to Diamond over Penguin or Penguin over Diamond, whatever it may be. You've dealt with both of them, right? So you know more or less what the differences are between the two. But 12,000 copies being the number, it could be more, could be less, whatever it is. But do you think these actually went missing, or was there something else that took place here?
Uh, well, if it was missing, someone stole them.
Yeah,
If they were missing, let's be frank. I don't think they're missing. I think Bleeding Cool heard this in a chat board amongst distributors, amongst dealers. I think the dealers kind of spread a story to justify why they couldn't fulfill the book. Okay. That's what I think it was. And I think they wanted to make excuses for themselves. So they put it out there. I think people have asked Bleeding Cool to say, who told you this? Have you got numbers from Penguin Random House? And no, none of them at all. I think when we had things like a truck destroyed by Diamond, if I'm not mistaken,
yep,
or a thing on fire,
yep,
everything was reported by Diamond or by Penguin House and said, we're going to get replacements there. How is this no replacements for this? These weren't stolen. It was, I remember watching Rock and Robbie live from Pop Culture Philosophers, very good reviews of books. And he was discussing this book, gave it a good review, which is true. By the way, it's a great book, as we've spoken before. And he goes, man, Ultimate Invasion didn't pop off. Okay. So books, the orders for Ultimate Spider-Man weren't that high. Okay. We got caught. People came in for Ultimate Spider-Man. We couldn't do reorders because they didn't overprint. Because no dealer is no publisher is overprinting now. It's very minor overprinting. This FOC for this was before Ultimate Spider-Man came out. They were caught with their pants down for Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Logic would say any store that ordered Ultimate Spider-Man, 100 copies of Ultimate Spider-Man, was ordering 50 of this at best. Right? Theoretically. That's why there's a shortage of this book. It's not because they're stolen 12,000 copies. It's not that. It's they didn't calculate how there because based on Ultimate Invasion, they didn't realize how it would pop off. They didn't realize based on Ultimate Invasion's hard sales, right? A dealer did his due diligence because they don't want to be stuck with over copies and ordered that. And then after people read Ultimate Spider-Man, they're like, hey, man, I got to read this. And then when the lazy old type dealers who don't do their research, instead of ordering properly at FOC, which is the only way we can guarantee our product now, are used to just calling up their distributor afterwards, especially if they're big movers and shakers, and say, hey, I want another 100 copies or 200 copies. And then the distributor says, hey, man, there ain't nothing left.
Yep.
It was either bought up by the young sharks, who have distributor license, who are on the ball better than you, or we just didn't print enough because your orders at FOC were so marginal.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. I until I see a number come out of from Penguin, or from any other reputable thing other than a mystery source told Rick Johnson from Bleeding Cool, I can't buy it. I mean, I just can't do it, because it's a clickbait article for me. It has nothing fundamentally sound in the article for me to say that. I spoke to Random House. They said that they're looking into it. Then I'd say, whoa, you're right. We got something. If they're looking into it, but I don't buy that whole comment of we reached out to Random House and there was no comment. You
Yeah.
know why there's no comment, bro? Because it's stupid to them, and they don't have time to do that. Because I remember watching when I was a kid. I was watching a Fox full documentary about landing on the moon or something like, or the alien autopsy, and it was Skinner from the X-Files doing it. And there
Yeah.
was the music going on, and then he goes, and then we reached out to NASA, and NASA had no comment.
Yeah.
And then the music played, and you're like, no comment. Holy cow, they're hiding something.
Yeah.
When it's
Exactly.
probably no comment, because the dude scientist who answered the phone is trying to go on to Mars, and he
Yeah.
has no time to explain to Skinner that they already went to the moon already. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
That's why there's no comment, because it's too stupid to answer. You get it? So until I see some say we're looking into it, we don't know how many copies are gone, I will never believe this. I think it's just dealers who got bitter and spiteful that they missed out on the book, because they missed out on back-to-back books, and other people in the aftermarket are making money and they're not, and they have to give their guys who FOC'd it, they have to give the copies, and they're pissed because they're going to sell it for 30 and they're only getting 5, and they're pissed at that, and they're making up a story to explain their incompetence. And again, it's not incompetence. They did their due diligence. They based their FOC order on what was the Ultimate Invasion. They just didn't realize that Ultimate Spider-Man would work so well and everybody would be interested in this universe.
For sure.
And now watch, the Ultimate X-Men will be overprinted, and then it'll be a counter effect. But anyways, that's a whole other subject.
Yeah, no, for sure. I love the comparison with the whole NASA stuff, but yeah, man, I agree with you 1,000%. Until I see confirmation from Penguin, I think this is just whatever.
It could be even a story that just got started, right?
Yeah.
One dealer heard, and then he went to the message board and said it,
Exactly.
and then it got spread out like that. It's like a rumor. It's a gossip. Like whatever, it travels fast, right? That's how it works.
Exactly. But talking rumors, Marvel Studios has trademarked 4 potential titles for Deadpool 3. That's right. As you can see there, you got Deadpool 3, Deadpool and Friend, Deadpool and Friends, Deadpool and Wolverine. So we saw just recently, what's his name? Kevin Feige wearing a cap that looked exactly like that logo you see right there. So I mean, 4 names being trademarked. I like this. I'm going to be honest now. I know you have a lot to say about this, because I don't want to take it away from you, because we thought the same thing, and you also brought some information. So feel free to share.
Well, first of all, I think the Deadpool and Friend title is incredible, because it comes, like I was saying to you earlier today, it's almost as if it's Deadpool giving the title and he's the narrator, right? And it's something as wacky that he would call the adventure Deadpool and Friend. So it works for me on every meta level, as well as Ryan Reynolds saying it. It just
Exactly.
it tells you the tone of the movie already. So love it. I read online from Alex P from the Cosmic Circus. If you're not following him on X/Twitter, I can't believe I called it X for the first time. But hey, there, Eli, you worked. There you go. I finally called it X for the first time. I mean, after 2 years, I can't believe you got rid of the name Twitter. You got that in the pop culture zeitgeist. Anyways, let's not go there. It's madness. So he said, Alex P, Cosmic Circus, read them. They're great. He said that all 4 titles are actually a title. They're all trademarked because they're all going to be used, and we're going to progressively go from Deadpool 3, which we've already been into, to Deadpool and Friend, and then it's going to be changed to Deadpool and Friends, and then the final release will be Deadpool and Wolverine. So the titles are building up to the final title as well. So probably we'll get different merchandise for different stages or different trailers or whatever it's going to be, and maybe different, So I don't know how it's going to be, but that sounds really cool to me and really meta. And I think that the first Deadpool movie especially had a lot of its success based on how good the marketing campaign was. Like they had a great, they released it on February 14th, I think. It was on Valentine's Day. Yep. And they had like heart plus the skull equals Deadpool or something. They had like a cool marketing campaign. And theoretically, it is a love story. The first Deadpool is a love story.
Yeah.
By him and Vanessa, So that's the heart of the movie, right? The first one, then the second one is basically Deadpool and a kid. So it's like a father bonding story. And the third one is Deadpool and a buddy cop story. So like they're all like some kind of like form of love and relationship stuff, which is interesting. It adds depth to the character. But I'm excited for this trailer. Like if the Niners win and this trailer is amazing, I don't know what's gonna happen to me tomorrow night.
I think you're gonna have to take the day off. You're probably gonna
there's problems. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna be able to sleep. I'm gonna be like just spinning in my space. I don't even know what to do.
Yeah,
Like I'm
but
already getting pumped for
just
this.
just to add to what you just said, hopefully we are going to see something. Now we're hearing some little rumblings that there is going to be a little bit of a teaser during the Super Bowl. So I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful.
Oh
Let's
no!
keep an eye out. It's
Oh
not
no!
confirmed. It's not confirmed. It's not
No,
confirmed.
no!
I think that was a fake.
No. What I've heard is there's guaranteed a Deadpool trailer. There's gonna be a commercial on the show on the Super Bowl and an extended one off air. The extended one's 2 hours, 2 minutes and 31 seconds. And there's
Cool.
gonna be two versions: a green band trailer, and a red band trailer. And
Let's
the
go.
red band and the red band trailer will be the first red band trailer Marvel has ever released.
I'm so pumped, man. So hopefully,
Yeah,
guys, right after this show, we're gonna
yeah, you might get three of us back. The gang might all be back. Gang might all be back
yeah.
to break this down.
Yeah, so if there is a trailer, we'll definitely come back for a breakdown. Myself, Chiapet, and Nick, not Nick, sorry, Anthony
But you
from
reference point.
Reference Point Podcast.
Unless something bad happens to the Niners, and then maybe they can't console me out of my room. So it might just be the two of them.
You're still coming, and I don't care what you say. So
I'll be miserable.
that's that for Deadpool. But let's wrap it up with some Daredevil set photos that are
Back to
continuing
back
to leak.
Jacks.
Yeah, look at this, man. This beautiful costume, man. I think it's awesome how they've got this Daredevil costume, and you can see another little leak here from the set. Apparently, this is Bullseye. Now, I'll be honest. First thing I thought of was Paladin. I really thought it was Paladin.
Yeah,
Dude, it looked a lot like him, and
it's
we're
Bullseye
seeing
meets Hawkeye. Completely.
yeah, there's a lot of exactly. There's a lot of rumors coming out as to what takes place even on set. We got characters like Foggy coming back.
You know what my dream
Karen.
is. I don't know if you want me to talk about it.
Go ahead.
Well, first of all, what's your take about DD not having DD on his chest?
So I'm wondering if in time it will come about. I think it's kind of like having Spider-Man without his spider symbol in the front, right?
But
That's
I disagree, and I'll just tell you why.
go.
Well, first of all, Daredevil is not can't see,
Yeah.
so he doesn't really know what he's more utilitarian his outfit, and the Spider-Man is more of decoration. DD is kind of just like I'm saying your name. It's a bit weird. Daredevil for me always felt more gritty, and I mean I have no problem with it in the comic books, obviously, right? It's comics, it's different. But in the show, I'm okay if they don't add it. Is what I'm saying. If they can add it, I'm okay. I'm indifferent. I'm not. Like I saw a lot of people saying like, "Oh, where's the double D?" I'm like, who cares? The shoot looks great. He's swinging throughout the city in so many scenes, like literally swinging through New York City.
Oh no, no, hold on.
Set.
I'm happy with what we're gonna get. I'm not saying that. Oh my god, let's cry wolf. But what I'm saying is, I would prefer to see it if possible.
100%. Like, yeah, ideally it would be that extra level. But I think it's just harder than the X buckle or the Spider-Man emblem. That's all, or the Cap Star. It's a little bit different, is what I'm saying. The DD. It's more of like two letters of his name kind of thing. It's weird. It's weirder. Like the Cap Star kind of symbolizes Captain America and America. It's different. Like. Go.
I was just gonna say, like, from judging by what you said, because the fact that he's blind, why would he put the D and D? But at this point, I think what Chiapet's saying is he's hoping to see it in Braille on his chest.
Oh, that would be amazing. I would lose it. Now, there's other things that I hope happen to this. Okay. Everybody loves the Netflix stuff, right?
Yes.
And count me one of them as well. Okay. I do think though that it's overdone how good it is and how gritty it is. I think it's relatively adult, okay, especially the Kingpin stuff. But I also think that they chickened out on a lot of stuff. I think if you really want to do Born Again, right? When they were, because the third season I think was based on Born Again, a lot of it, right? Mm-hmm. Kingpin finds out who Matt is.
Yeah,
that's part of right. You gotta go all the way, and Karen is exposed. She's a drug addict. She reveals things, and then she dies. So I've always felt that they've kind of went to the line of it being gritty and as gritty as Daredevil could be, but they kind of you get what I'm trying to say. So for me, knowing the source material, I always felt you almost did it. So whenever I have people who probably haven't read as much Daredevil as I have talk about how gritty it is, and I'm like, hey man, I don't know what you're talking about. This
Because
ain't.
it could be more. It could be
Yeah,
more.
this ain't more. This ain't what you're talking about. This is kind of weak compared to what really happens to Matt. You know what I mean? And Karen.
I think what people are saying is that it's way more gritty as opposed to anything coming out of the MCU.
Yeah, but this was done before, right? This was
Yeah.
one of the first things they did on the show, right? So they did it, and it should be, by the way, the tone of it should be more gritty. But I also understand when Daredevil is in She-Hulk's show, his tone could be lighter. But in his show, it should deal with gritty stuff. It should be Punisher. It should be street level. It should be Jessica Jones. That's the vibe. But I wanted to go that extra step. I want Matt to feel pain.
Same.
Now, there was rumors, I don't want to spoil anything, of people not being cast originally because they were off screen. And then those people returned. And they are cast now. But they're only cast for 3 out of the potential anywhere between 12 and 18 episodes.
Yeah.
So that leads me to believe that the
might still happen.
Might still happen, but it might be on screen instead of off screen.
Exactly.
And that makes me actually happy for 2 reasons. Because I'm spiteful with all the Daredevil fanatics who were freaking out when they weren't cast. And I'm like, I'm just a bitter old man and I want to see them lose their marbles and I want to see the other thing. Also, it brings pain to Matt, which is the fundamental thing I want. Which Daredevil works the most is when he feels the most pain. That's why everybody likes to write him. That's why everybody likes to read the book. It's you got to put Matt through the ringer. And I don't feel that he's gotten through the ringer enough yet. I feel like it's almost like even the Elektra story, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't want the Netflix to be canon, because I thought season 1 and season 3 were great, and season 2, all the Punisher stuff was incredible. All of it. Okay? So you get me. But the Elektra stuff that went out of the second half of season 2 and into the Defenders was trash. It was trash. The Hand and the Elektra should be epic, and Elektra was not epic. Starting with the fact that she's a Greek goddess, assassin, which is cool, and Frank Miller wanted her to be Greek because he's always had an affinity for, I think, for Greek people, because I think he had Agamemnon and some other stuff. He did 300, so he clearly has either Greek connections or something. So he wanted it to be Greek, and he built it to be Greek specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm not one of those people that freaks out, but she was called Elektra Nachos. She was a Greek person, like they said specifically. She was Greek, so you eliminated that, which is, as a Greek person, I went with it as long as they had a good story. And I feel that story wasn't as triumphant and as tragic as it could have been. So I felt that the tragedy of that series wasn't where I wanted it to be, which hurt me, which made me think people overestimated the show, which again, I go back for. I watch all the time, and D'Onofrio eats up all the screen. And come on, what's his name again? This guy that plays Daredevil.
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox is incredible as well. He was incredible even in the other show I played in Boardwalk Empire. He's always been good. Like, he's a great actor. So I'm all for the whole cast, and I'm glad that they're bringing back Jessica Jones. I hope and I think they're bringing back all the crew. I'm good with all of them, like Luke Cage, even Iron Fist. They had good chemistry in Defenders, them two together. So do a show, Power Man and Iron Fist.
Yeah,
that's how you do it. Anyway,
Iron Fist alone was not as intriguing, but
neither of them are intriguing. Luke Cage was good for the first half when Cottonmouth was the villain. As soon as Cottonmouth dies, it's over. The show is no good.
Exactly.
When the Biggie music was good, everything was vibing, because they're not good enough to be a show by themselves. They need to be together in the show. They need to have the Daredevil could pull off the show, no problem. Jessica Jones barely did it, and she had help from Hellcat. She did a lot of heavy lifting of their connection, and it was an incredible villain in that. They had a top-notch villain that was just so devious that it was incredible to elevate the show. I don't think the other ones had that. But anyways, all in all, I'm ecstatic for Daredevil. It looks fucking amazing. So let's go. And I can't wait to Bullseye. Can't wait to Bullseye does something. I can't wait.
It's coming 100%, man. And of course, not only are photos leaking, but a lot of information is already starting to leak regarding Daredevil. So if you don't want to know, I would say keep away from social media. Maybe start unfollowing certain accounts, because
But what are you gonna do? Everybody wants more realistic and less volume filming, right? Everybody wants that. So Deadpool and Daredevil, which are 2 premiere events for Marvel, right? They were filmed on set a lot. And then a lot of set photos get released. And then you're complaining about the set photos. So it's a give and take. I know what they're doing for Daredevil is I heard that they're filming a lot of multiple scenes.
Yeah.
They're trying to flip people up, right?
Yeah,
They're
I
trying
think
to,
they're swerving. Yeah.
yeah, they're swerving. They're adding as much smoke screen as they can in it, you know? So that's one way to do it. And that's a good way. You know, if I was them, bro, I'd bring in other characters that were never supposed to be in there.
Yeah.
But the problem with that, it makes people think and change expectations.
Yeah.
The multiverse of madness effect, right? And everybody was supposed to be in that. So when you had a movie which was good but not filled with all the cameos you thought, you were disappointed because you thought all the cameos were happening, right? So maybe you can't do what I just said because it would cause that weird backlash event. Like, oh, you told me that Sunfire was gonna be in there too.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
You know, like so it doesn't work. You know, yeah, maybe that's the problem.
Exactly. But Chiapet, that's the show. Viewers, everybody here who's coming to watch this pre-record, we appreciate you guys coming to hang out. We went
I
through
don't appreciate that much.
stop it, stop it. Went through all the fun stuff, and I think we just hit the longest show ever. So 1 hour.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
55
sorry,
minutes as
guys.
we go. Don't worry
I'm
about
sorry.
it, man. It was a great talk, a lot to talk about. Hopefully, everyone's enjoyed this before we kick off the Super Bowl. So yeah, I guess we can call this a little Super Bowl pre-show for episode 35.
Go Niners.
Yeah, well, I guess. I'm kidding. I don't want Uni
What?
X to come at me.
You don't want Uni X? What about your co-host tonight?
Yeah. Well, I'm a little less worried about you, to be honest.
What's wrong with he's a monster? He's in California, the dude. He can't get you.
You never know. But I appreciate everybody who
Uni,
came to
Niners
watch.
gang, right here. Me and you, Uni.
Let's go. Okay, pick the winner. You think Niners winning?
I'm not going to pick against the Niners, obviously. Niners winning 31-27. There you go.
31-27. I'm going to say Niners as well. I think Niners.
I'll tell you why I think the only chance that they win, why it has to be, they has to go over for the Niners to win.
Yeah.
You have to make it where Mahomes has to pass and his receivers will have to fail at the job. That's the only way they have a chance. If it's a defensive game, their defense is better than ours is here.
Exactly. Yep.
So, but their wide receiver has to fuck up. That's what it has to happen. Sorry for swearing.
100%. No, you swear all you want, man. But guys, thank you again for watching the show. Don't forget what I said at the beginning. Definitely comment below. And yeah, somebody just might win something on the next live show. So keep an eye out. Happy Super Bowl to everybody. And I'm looking forward to hanging out with everybody real soon. Chiapet, if you guys want to hang out with Chiapet, don't forget Comic Legion. I'm putting it in the description. Yeah, I'll put the Facebook link in
live sales, claim sales, Monday nights, 7:00.
Exactly.
Come join us, guys.
Go hang out with Chiapet and get yourself some cool books. But after that, make sure to come back to join me next Sunday. Yes, I'll be back live. So, guys,
stay tuned for a Deadpool trailer. If it's there, we're gonna be up.
Oh yeah, 100%. Even if the Niners lose, right?
Oh, stop that.
I'm gonna make you do it. But all right, guys, have yourselves a great Super Bowl. Have a great week, and I will see you next Sunday. Adios.